I want to do a quick little live here. Whoops, wrong one. Okay. How's that framed? Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. So, yeah, as you've seen the title of this. You can stop the fake alien invasion. I want you. Maybe I'm dating myself. There's a recruitment poster from World War One with Uncle Sam with the American flag suit and top hat. I want you. So yeah, but this is a literal truth here, okay? You all, me included, can stop this whole fucking thing. And I'm not kidding, and it's not far-fetched. So, and what you can do, you can scare the shit out of the globalist deep state very easily. But you're gonna have to put in some fucking effort. You're gonna have to go out on a limb. And how do I suggest this? Make videos. Get a YouTube account. There might be a threshold for YouTube for doing live videos. It might be like 500 subscribers, but you can upload whatever the hell you want. Just record it on your phone, upload the damn thing. Get an Instagram account, get a Twitter account. Just put videos on there. And, if you think this whole thing is bullshit and it's fake and it's really a bad idea and it's not going to go anywhere good, just get online and say this. And you don't have to, it's not about your production quality. I've suggested this to people in the past. Well, just get on there and just swamp NSA's data storage capability and internet surveillance capability. Just fucking swamp them. If you get, an additional few million people making videos about this, like constantly, regularly, they're going to see a jump in their daily reports, when these NSA, CIA, FBI, whatever the hell, military intelligence, assistant directors, when they sit down in the morning, they look at their reports, they see their morning briefing, and there's this fucking spike in people making videos about this. They're going to shit their pants. They're going to be like, well, where did this come from? Oh, what are we going to do about this? When you distract them with damage control, they get diverted away from the primary agendas. So it doesn't, I tell people, make videos about it, swamp their surveillance capabilities, flood their data center, make them have to store even more shit, slow their supercomputers down. People are like, oh, well, my hair's a disaster. Oh, and I don't know what to wear, and I don't know what I'm gonna say. It doesn't matter. Just get on there. You don't have to have high production quality. You don't have to look fabulous. Just get on there and just talk about how you feel about this. If you think it's bullshit, if you think it's wrong, just get on there and say that. If you have trouble talking to a camera, put a friend or a loved one next to the camera. Speak to that person. So, camera's right in front of you. The loved one's next to the camera. Talk to your dog. You can do it the other way. Put the loved one, human or otherwise, directly in front of you and just offset the camera at an angle, pointing right at you. That can break the ice with making videos. It's easier to talk to a living being with a soul than it is to talk to a camera. And then you get used to the camera. So do this and ask yourself, what's more important to you? Is it your self-consciousness? And is it preserving whatever stellar image you imagine you have among your friends and family and so forth? Or do you not want to have some bullshit fake alien invasion that suckers the world into, some Agenda 21 climate obsessed, world peace where everyone lives in a smart city and you get your fucking needlecraft every month. I don't think that's gonna happen, but what I'm trying to stop with this is I don't even want them to attempt this because the attempt would be a fucking disaster. Attempting this fake alien invasion and getting people all stirred up, especially, religious fundamentalists who it's like, if anything weird happens in the sky, they might think it's Space Jesus, Space Mohammed, whatever. That will cause just a fucking mess. And then if they get these craft flying around, be they tic tacs, triangles, saucer craft, whatever, which aerospace companies and the military industrial complex have built and sold to militaries and intelligence services. If to make this thing convincing, they start flying around and shooting at cities in order to get us to believe it, to make it more plausible, that'll be a fucking disaster. Or if they take the angle of the friendly aliens and the friendly aliens are like, we'll give you free Tesla energy, because free Tesla energy is like, that's the ultimate bait for like the UFO community, the truther flat earth community with, the whole Tartaria thing. That's like their fucking Ark of the Covenant, Holy Grail, whatever. They're fixated on it. So if they take the nice angle with this false alien invasion, and the nice aliens who are just, humans, if they come down and they're like, oh, or they seem to come down, if they say, oh, we'll give you Tesla free energy and med beds and, whatever, free money, all you have to do is you need to get your needlecraft because you humans actually have a virus or a plethora of viruses that can harm us. If you don't get your needlecraft and you don't eat crickets and beetles instead of eggs and meat and, milk, if you don't go vegetarian, vegan, God knows if you don't move into the smart cities and stop, being a cancer upon the earth, you evil humans, they could take that angle. They could take an angle where there are the bad aliens, the satanic aliens, and then the good aliens, okay? So the good aliens might be like, look, if you guys don't start eating your beetles and crickets and acknowledging yourselves as a cancer upon the earth and you don't get your mandatory needlecrafts, we're just going to let the bad aliens kill you. Okay. There could be a whole alien terrorist angle. Like they walk among us angle, right? So this is the reason at the beginning of World War II, Japanese nationals and Japanese Americans were interned in concentration camps out in the desert in places like Arizona, Eastern California, because Americans didn't understand Japanese culture. They didn't even know who to begin spying on. With the German and Italian communities at the beginning of World War II, they understood those cultures. They could spy on them. They weren't great at it, but they could do it. They had a measure of confidence. So with the Japanese, they didn't understand them. They put them in camps. Then you fast forward to the 9/11 era where they were like, any Muslim could be a terrorist, and that was the profile of a terrorist. Meanwhile, they exempt, Muslim women from going through the naked body scanners and the pat downs because it's against Allah's rule book or something. It's always hypocritical because psychopaths are hypocrites. So they could take that angle where the aliens look just like us and they're among us. So you're going to have to get your microchip implanted and get your well, I almost said it. get your needlecraft. Getting a little lazy and comfortable. Get your needlecraft because those aliens that look just like us carry viruses. You know, in the Third Reich, they were very preoccupied with pathogens that they said Jewish people were carrying, you know, this whole racial tuberculosis thing that the Third Reich was going on about. And they had this idea of perfecting human beings by injecting chemicals and the V words that, you know, the needlecraft delivers, you know, Victor Alpha Charlie Charlie India November Echo. So a lot of different angles for this. It's going to be a fucking mess if they attempt it. I don't think they're going to pull it off. They are so fucking desperate. You know, Agenda 2020 was a flop, or 2022, whatever the fuck it was. That was a flop. It's been admitted they can't reach the Agenda 2030 goals. Klaus Schwab has admitted we can't meet the Great Reset goals. Bill Gates has admitted that the needlecraft hasn't worked for the people who got it, but you still need to keep getting it. You know, the boosts. What else? It's falling. It's absolutely falling apart, and they're desperate. You know, the Davos summit this year was like the dance of the living dead, totally lame. Yeah, total disaster. So they could try to pull off a swan song where it's like, okay, this is our last ditch attempt. We're gonna try this bogus alien invasion thing, and you know, hope it works out. You know, and you've got these little shit stains like Congressman Darren LaHood out of Illinois, and people like him wanting to make talking about ETs, aliens, UFOs illegal. You know, kind of like under like the same grounds as like the Patriot Act. It's a violation of national security. So these fuckers are so desperate they might try this. It's not going to work because, again, people didn't get the needlecraft in the numbers expected. They tried to eliminate cash through this whole scamdemic. Cash use is at a 13-year high. So what's 13 years? 2000 and what? 10? Yeah, they're not having success. They're fucked. So I'm not worried about the accomplishment. I'm worried about the attempt. So if you care, now a lot of people will say they care and I'm gonna fight the globalists. Well, do something to fight the fucking globalists. Make some videos. Get on there. Don't worry about your hair and how you look and da da da. If you don't like talking to a camera, put a friend, a significant other, a husband, wife, a dog, put that in front of you and have the loved one hold the phone camera and point it at you. Look into the person's eyes. Don't look at the camera. So you can totally do it. You just have to decide what you care about more. Either your future, the world, or the way you look. So, you know, make that judgment call and act accordingly. So, and, you know, definitely disseminate this. Get this out to people. Share this video. Make your own video. Make a transcript and just read my words. I don't give a shit. Yeah. So these fuckers are desperate. So we're seeing these weird UFOs today. What the hell's today? The 16th, 17th of February. President Alzheimer's Joe Biden, Shou Baizheng, you know, he came out and they're still being vague as shit about everything but the Chinese spy balloon. And there's all these weird UFOs. You know, some people are saying they're the Starlink satellites. You know, military-industrial complex has built all kinds of anti-gravity craft that are called UFOs. because we don't know what they are. You see them, you don't know what they are. It's a UFO. It's an unidentified flying object. So there's UFOs all over the place. And Dementia Joe comes out and he says, what was it? The one over Alaska was not a Chinese spy balloon, but they won't say what this is. Another thing that these UFOs could be too is China and Russia, because they actually won World War II, but then they were expected after the end of World War II to be the bitches of the US and Britain. They've been very resentful for 75 years. And they could always just knock our grid out and just leave us to wallow in our own filth and chaos. They're not going to nuke us. I think only the Americans are assholes enough to use nuclear weapons. Not the American people, but our deep state. And but the American people will just go along with it and even get all proud that we have these nukes and we can fucking throw them at people. So yeah. Anyway, if you give a shit, make some videos, flood NSA, CIA, whoever else's fucking databases and data storage. So NSA in Ogden, Utah, this is one we know about. In Ogden, Utah, they have a data center the size of like 12 or 13 Walmarts that mysteriously catches on fire every once in a while. They have this data center the size of 12 or 13 Walmarts, purpose of which is to store everyone's social media content, phone calls, emails, text messages. So just flood that shit. Make them build another one. I'm sure there are many others we don't know about. But you can flood that shit. You can cripple their system. You can make these globalists and their little bitch boys in government and, in corporate offices, you can make them shit their pants just by talking about this. Just talk about it. I don't advocate any violence against these people. Just talk about things they don't want you to talk about and they shit themselves. The thing is, narcissists, psychopaths, they just expect constant admiration and compliance. So don't give it to them. I'm going to wrap this one up for the meantime. But thanks to everyone who tuned in and who will tune in later. Make some videos. Get over the self-consciousness. If you want to fight the globalists, fight them. Don't just talk about it. Okay, later.